Question number 13. Some features of a plant cell type are as follows. Have a large central vacuole, living cells even at functional maturity. That means living cells, not they are living cells even at the functional maturity means they haven't a secondary cell wall. Cannot be divided further. They are permanent tissues. Lack of secondary walls even in the maturity, again it says they are living cells. Walls are thickened by suberin regularly. Tissue is composed of one type of cells. Please erase this point. Walls are thickened by suberin regularly. Please erase this. Okay. No need of this question, this point for this question. Okay. So, can you remember the plant classification? Sorry, plant tissue classification. Okay. What do you mean by a tissue? Tissue is a collection of cells which are get together and form a common function. So, you have to think about the difference between more than one cells or more than one type of cells. So, tissue is a collection of cells. No, collection of cells. In some tissue, it may contains one type of cells, more than one cell, but all cells are in a one type. But there is a tissue, it contains more than one types of cells. More than one types of cells. Anyway, these tissues, basically these tissues can be divided into two main categories based on their dividing ability. Okay. After dividing a cell, think about the cell. Oh, yes. Can you remember the cell theory? It says every cells are occurring from previous cells. No, that means the cell division. Cell. A cell is divided into two and create new cells. Create new two cells. This is A cell, this is B cell. This B cell cannot be divided further. Cannot be divided further. They are differentiated into a particular function. Okay. This B cell cannot be divided further. And this A cell can be divided. Okay. These dividing cells we called as meristematic cells. Okay. The tissue is called as the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue. Okay. So, according to their dividing ability, the tissues can be divided into two major categories. Meristematic cells. The tissue is called as the meristematic tissue. Other one is permanent tissues. Okay, permanent tissues are differentiated, but they cannot be divided further. They are differentiated into a specific or a particular function. There are two types of meristematic cells. Okay, there are three types of meristematic cells. First one is apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Apical, lateral, and intercalary meristem. These meristematic tissues are dividing further. Permanent tissues cannot be divided. They can contains only one type or more than one types. Okay. If some permanent tissue have only one type of cell, only one type of cell, we called as simple permanent tissues. Okay. If it contains more than one type, Okay, they can 2 types, 3 types, 4 types, like that. More than 1 types of cells we called as complex tissues. The best known examples of complex tissues are vascular tissues, that means xylem and phloem. Okay, but there is a hyaline tissue. It is not popular one, but there is another special complex tissue is present, that is called the epidermis. Okay, think about the epidermis. There are more than 1 types of cells. Those are the normal epidermal cells, while there are some bean-shaped cells in dicot, while dumbbell-shaped in monocots. Those are called the guard cells, which are produced stomata. And other than that, if it is a root epidermis, root hair cells are presented, then you can see here more than 1 types of cells are presented in this tissue. Okay, so epidermis is also a complex tissue. In xylem there are 4 types of cells, phloem 4 types of cells. Okay, what are the 4 types of cells in phloem tissue? Sieve tube elements, companion cells, parenchyma cells and fiber cells, like that. Okay, there are 3 simple tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, these 2 tissues are living cells even at the maturity, but these sclerenchyma cells are dead cells or non-living cells in their maturity. For their maturity, we have to think about the secondary cell wall. Okay, after making primary cell wall, in some cells are deposited their secondary cell wall by using lignin. Okay, if somewhere lignin is presented, that is the secondary thickness. But I have mentioned there are only 2 types of simple tissues. They are living cells at the maturity, even at the maturity. So parenchyma cells, no matter, you know, they have only the primary cell wall and large central vacuole and the nucleus. Like that means there are some intercellular spaces also. And what about the collenchyma tissue? Have you heard about the thickness of its cell wall? Yes, their cell walls are thickened especially at their corners. Okay, is it secondary thickness or primary thickness? I said collenchyma tissues are what? Simply we can draw in this manner. Okay, those are the thickness. I have mentioned these collenchyma tissues are living cells even at their maturity. So these thicknesses are primary thicknesses. That means even in here only present the primary cell wall. These thicknesses are done by suberin, not lignin. Okay, that is why I have mentioned these collenchyma cells are also living cells even at their maturity. Okay, so there are 2 answers, parenchyma and sclerenchyma. So companion cells. Question number 14, companion cells. We have to select the correct answer. So what is the tissue of companion cells? Phloem tissue. There are 4 cell types in the phloem tissue. Other than the companion cells, the main cell type is sieve tube elements. They transport sucrose or the organic food of the plant, and it is done by the sieve tube elements. Okay, companion cells are helpers or friends of these Cu tube elements. Okay, these Cu tube elements haven't a nucleus. Okay, so what is the main function of a nucleus of a cell? Nucleus controls the cell. So in this tissue, these Cu tube elements have a great responsibility. What is the responsibility of Cu tube elements? Transporting sucrose. Okay, for doing such responsibility, how it does its responsibility without a nucleus, with the help of the nucleus of the companion cells. Okay, nuclei of these companion cells are controlling the action or the functions and everything of the relevant Cu tube elements. Okay, so that is the story. Companion cells haven't a nucleus. No, they have a nucleus. They have nuclei. Okay, are present in a complex tissue. Yes, it is presented in phloem tissue. Phloem tissue is a complex tissue. Third one, cytoplasm is reduced into a thin peripheral layer. Fourth one, does not contain ribosomes. No. The question, the answer number 3 and 4 describe about the Cu tube elements. Okay. Number 5, they are conducting cells. No, they are non-conducting cells. Actually, they are non-conducting cells. Non-conducting cells. So answer is number what? Which one is the answer? 2. Answer number 2. Question number 15. Incorrect statement about the water potential. So, what do you mean by the water potential? Water potential is the ability to move in some water molecule. Okay? Water potential. Potential means some ability. So, for what? Ability to move. So, this water potential we can describe by using the kinetic energy. Yes, kinetic energy. So, what is the equation of kinetic energy? This one. If some molecule have a high kinetic energy, that means it has a high water potential. Okay, water potential, the sign of water potential is psi W. The equation is psi S plus psi P now. So, which one? There is a pure water sample, and this is a pond water sample. Okay, pure water means 100% water molecules are presented. Then pond water means there are some ions and everything are dissolved in everything is dissolved in here water. Okay, actually this is a solution, water solution, but in here 100% of water molecules are presented. So which one has the great ability to move, or which one has the highest water potential? This one, pure water. There are no any molecules to attack this or disturb this. That is why pure water has the greatest water potential. Okay, so in this solution is the aqueous solution. There are some solutes. Actually, there are some solutes like microorganisms, ions, some toxic materials, and some anything. Okay, can be dissolved in here. Because of such elements, because of such compounds or such toxins, microbes like ions and everything, because of those things, these in water molecules in here cannot be moved freely. Okay, others are disturbing them. Therefore, their water potential is reduced comparing with that. Okay, that means water potential is reduced. This reduced water potential, we called as the solute potential psi W. Okay, And these water molecules have a pressure, some pressure. If we compare this pressure with the pressure of atmosphere, if this pressure of water molecules are greater than the pressure of atmosphere, we can say these molecules have a plus pressure. Okay, actually it is a potential. We can say plus pressure potential. If their pressure is lower than the atmospheric pressure, we can say these water molecules have negative water potential, negative pressure potential. So this is the pressure potential. Okay. So total of solute potential and pressure potential is called as the what? Water potential. Okay. In pure water, it has the greatest water potential. We say the greatest value of water potential is zero. Zero. Okay. The greatest value is zero. If the greatest value is zero, these normal solutions, every normal solutions have to have a negative psi W value. Can you understand it? Because the greatest value is zero. It has this one presented in pure water. That is why every aqueous solution, pond water, lake water, river water, and any water sample has lower water potential than the pure water. Okay, so here in pure water, psi W is equal to 0. Okay, that is the story. Pressure potential, first one, pressure potential of pure water is 0. Is it correct or incorrect? Here, this one is 0. So psi W plus psi W is psi W, psi S plus psi P is equal to psi W. Psi W may 0 and psi P may 0. Then psi W becomes 0, but this one never becomes to 0 level. Okay, so the water potential is 0 means values of psi W is 0 means psi W is psi S to psi P, psi plus psi S plus psi P means their values are same. Psi S is equal to psi P, but their signs are different. Okay, there is a negative value and this is a positive value. Signs are different, but their values are same. Okay, pressure potential of pure water is 0, not 0. Psi S is the value of psi S is equal to psi P. Okay. Answer number 2. Fully turgid and fully flaccid cells are ideal. Turgid means what? Expansion. Turgid means the expansion. Okay. Fully turgid cell is occurred because of entering water inside the cell. The flaccid cells are occurring releasing of water from the cell. Fully turgid or fully flaccid cells are ideal. Yes. Fully turgid means it is near to blast. It cannot be blast. So fully turgid or fully flaccid means cells, every water molecule is removed from the cell. Okay, so definitely fully turgid or fully flaccid cell condition is a dead cell. Okay, that is why we called therefore we can say fully turgid or fully flaccid cells are not in the environment. Okay, that means they are ideal. They are ideal. So correct. When a flaccid cell is placed in pure water, water enters the cell. Any cell means it has a vacuole. Vacuole contains cell sap. Cell sap is a aqueous solutions में so many ions, pigments and everything are dissolved. So when a cell is containing in a pure water has psi W. This is the cell and this is the vacuole. In vacuole, this is the cell sap. This is the aqueous solution. Anyway, this psi W is lower than the psi W of pure water. Always water moves from lower water potential to higher water potential to low water potential. Okay. If some place has high water potential, this place has high water potential. This place has low water potential. Water moves here to here. Okay, here to there. So, what the answer says? If the cell has the maximum, when a flaccid cell is placed, flaccid cell means it's every, so not every, some water content is released. That is called the flaccid cell. Now, this flaccid cell always willing to gain water. When a flaccid cell is placed in pure water, water enters the cell. Yes, correct. If the cell has the maximum value of pressure potential, this cell is said to be in fully turgid state. Yes, correct. In a fully flaccid cell, pressure potential is 0. Yes. Fully turgid cell has the maximum pressure potential. It ready to blast. In fully flaccid cell means totally different. Its pressure potential is 0. Okay. Answer is number 1. Which process does not require ATP?